go. Keyless is in the building. How are you? The lady of crypto is in the building. John Deaton's plea to the community. It's spot on. We'll see if the good old boy network is listening. We'll see. Alex Cheats in the building. What's going on, Alex? Good to see you. Let's go. Listen, we're early. We are early adopters in this new asset class that is the digital asset space. We took some, what did we do? We took some wins, maybe a little bit of an L in the ruling from Judge Torres, a little something of an L. 60-40 in favor of XRP over. We're going to go over the market numbers. We're going to go over these numbers, Adam. Are we going to go over these numbers? This market is something. Kev Cleveland, what's going on, Kev? Good to see you, bro. Where am I at? Where am I at here? Life is good. Like, are we going to go over these numbers? I don't even know. The market is just, I don't even know. Maybe. Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life. That is the digital asset space. Wow, this market is unbelievable. John Deaton on Fox Business. John Deaton doing a video today that just speaks the truth to the truth. Something that we've been saying on this channel for a while. Good evening to all my podcasters out there. Look, we've been saying this from day one. There's a war going on. There's a war going on. We got to come together. John Deaton has been on it from the beginning. And Keyless, Kev, you know, we've been sharing this on this channel from day one. There's a real war going on, and we need to come together. We said on the channel that the minute that lawsuit was dropped against Ripple by Jay Clayton, that there should have been a line going around the corner of the office of Ripple. Can't wait for their chance to knock on the door and say, we're with you. That's what we said from the beginning here. And the reality of the situation is really finally starting to kick in with some folks realizing that they're coming after all of crypto. Operation Choke Point's a real deal. It is a real deal. By the way, someone tweeted out, I retweeted the tweet. The nations and/or nations have repeatedly, over and over, set up fake stuff in order to push their narratives. For some reason, people seem to think that, you know, nations alphabet groups just aren't capable of doing a thing. I don't understand it. I don't understand why, but I don't understand it, but fake stuff to push their narrative. Fake stuff. I encourage you to check out our channel. It's interesting, too. This comedian, Russell Brand. Russell Brand is a smart dude. He's on a lot of the madness and the corruption. He is on it. Interesting stuff. He's funny, but he makes very, very interesting points. Dude's got a channel of over 6 million subscribers. He must be telling the story. He must be telling some truth that people need to hear. I hope he continues. I hope he leverages his platform to speak the truth about any nation's alphabet group and what they're capable of doing. I hope he continues to speak that truth. We're going to go over these numbers. Did I refresh this? I did refresh it. Okay, good. Let me do that. Go over these numbers. We'll talk about that. I do love the win in the SEC, Judge Torres' latest ruling in the SEC versus Ripple in reference to any particular preclusions of expert witnesses. Interesting stuff from John Deaton. We're going to play it, but he also believes there is a, this is, we can't put aside the fact that there could be some arguments made between or in front of a jury, that there are some things that may go to a jury trial. And I think we should all prepare and embrace for that. I really, really do. Now, look, the SEC, in my opinion, ain't looking forward to a jury trial. No. I don't personally think that they want to see their case going before a jury of regular folk like you and I. No, I think not. I don't think they want that. I don't think they want that at all. So Judge Torres is like, hey, if you guys are not going to come to a conclusion, you ain't going to get this thing settled amongst yourselves. And by the way, I'm precluding this expert testimony. I'm precluding this one. And according to John Deaton, Ripple won out on those. About a 60-40 favor is his estimate. I say 70-30. For Rispoli, he had his own take on it as well. Jeremy Hogan, he felt like he was 70-30 as well. Because hey, if you don't have the expert that was supposed to be testifying on the reasonable expectations of profit from reasonable expectation of profit from Ripple's efforts. If you don't have that guy testifying, what you got? What do you have? That was Jeremy Hogan's take on things. So a jury trial for the SEC, I think no way they want that. But hey, who knows? Who knows what they're willing to do? They've embarrassed themselves enough anyhow. Who they might be like, the lawyers might be like, it's on Chair Gare. The lawyers might be like, it's on Chair Gare. We were just doing what we were told. Alex G says the ETH and BTC maxis were so happy to see that Ripple was sued 100%. Now everyone is a target. SEC is in hunt mode, not just the SEC, about 9 other regulatory agencies as well. Operation Choke Point is real. Can we stop already about what the nation's 3-letter groups can't not do? Can we wake up to the reality of what they can do, which is anything that they want to do? Paul Barron seems to believe his take on all of this is they're trying to burn it all down and then rebuild it from their TradFi buddies. Let their TradFi buddies build the new thing. Burn it all down. I find it very interesting that this latest crypto mining case brought from the SEC was about fraud. It's just flat out a dude committed fraud. Just had nothing to do with any mined Bitcoin. Nothing. Had nothing to do with any mined digital asset. They didn't mine a thing. They went and bought it somewhere else and then distributed in the appearance, making an appearance of it being mined. And the SEC is wanting to take that fraud, which is flat out fraud, and say it's a security and investment contract. Like, what is going on? Kiva says Russell Brand is something else. Love the way he breaks down things with surgical precision. Indeed, he does. He really, really does. Smart guy. Funny as heck. And when you're funny, you get everyone's eyes and ears and their attention, and it opens them up to receiving the good stuff. So I really do hope to receiving information. So I really do hope that he continues on. I really do. I hope that he continues that channel and continues to do his part, right? On speaking the truth and making people very well aware of things. Is this important? He was talking about the media and how the media is in bed with some of the and are owned by people who want to just control the narrative. And you can forget the truth anymore. You can forget the truth anymore. Hey, Siege, what's going on, RC? I recently learned you can purchase the SENS token and then you can swap them for one. You can swap them for one root token. I think it's a bargain at current CENNZ price. Okay. Yeah, the SEC is definitely, it is keyless. What is the CENZ token? Never heard of that. Is it 4 letters or 5 letters there, RC? Yeah, man. I know I did a dry time video this morning. I don't know if you guys caught that. I did a dry time video about Ripple and shoot. Futureverse, Ripple and the Futureverse company, and they're the 5th largest shareholder there. And yeah, Root Network, XRP for gas token and rewards. I believe it's going to be a big deal. What's going on, Sam Beckett? Good to see you, my friend. Intentionally making mistakes. Where do you get the SENS tokens, RC? Sam Beckett says, sup, Siege, what's good with you, bro? I am, in my opinion, SEC seems to have rushed the process and made several mistakes the entire push. Any thoughts on the possibility of SEC intentionally making mistakes in the Ripple case? I mean, anything is possible. I will say that. Anything is possible. John Doe, what's going on, bro? MEXC has it. So if you buy the SENS token, where are you swapping it for root? RC. If you buy the CENNZ token, where are you swapping it for the root token, my friend? John Doe says, John Deaton didn't seem very confident in his video today. Said to mentally prepare for a trial. Been waiting since 2017. The weight is draining. 1000% it is. And hey, that in the end, you know, that's one of the primary goals for this to take as long as possible, in my humble opinion, so that the powers that be, the banking regulators that run the show, have time to catch up and grab market share. Slow them down, you know, a slow death, if you will. You know, try to do the whole slow death thing. That's always been my deal. That's always been kind of my belief. Because trust me when I tell you that Ripple and the technology that it uses is the disruptor. Ah, got it. So the Futureverse white paper explains the swap will take place when the Root Network launches with Fluff World. Ah, okay. So you hold on to the CENNZ token. Okay, until that happens. Got it. Gotcha, bro. Thanks for sharing. When, let me see. How do you spell that freaking token? Like let me check into this, guys. Hold on 1 second. And of course, I got the mouse issue. I got a serious mouse issue here. Okay, I see it there. I see it. 1 cent. Okay. All right. And I haven't had a chance to check that white paper out. I wonder if is that a 1-for-1 swap? Is that 1-for-1 on that swap? We'll get into that. We'll get into that for sure. Thanks for sharing that, RC. For sure, guys, we're going to go over these numbers. I'm going to share a little bit of the John Deaton video, but also want to point out the real war. Paul Barron is on it, the real war taking place. Talk about TD Bank, TD Bank, TD Ameritrade, TD Bank, $1.2 billion settlement. Oh, it is 1-for-1. Awesome. Love it. $1.2 billion settlement. We'll get into that. We'll get into some other stuff happening with, Bank of America. Yet they want to talk crypto. We all know JP Morgan and its madness, right? We all know that. All right, let's share. Let's go over these numbers real quick. Let's get into it, guys. Thank you so much for checking in. Do me a favor. If you haven't done so already, please take the time to go smash that like button, then come back and hang out. Let's go here. Let's go share. $0.01. What's ooh, 32,000, huh? Interesting where this token is it's being shared, isn't it? What markets have that token? All right, so the total cryptocurrency market cap, according to CoinGecko, is 1.06 trillion. It's down 1.2% in the last 24 hours. The Bitcoin dominance, guys, is at 40.3%, with 3%, which means that number does not make for a fruitful alt season when the Bitcoin dominance is that high, 40.3%. Bitcoin is trading at $22,153. Ethereum is trading at $1,558, and XRP is trading at 38 cents. 38 cents. Let's share some news here that I wanted to kind of remind you guys, just to kind of remind you of the real war that's going on and the narrative that the 9 agencies in Operation Choke Point are trying to push. Let us not forget this. This is important. TD Bank agrees to pay $1.2 billion to settle the Ponzi scheme case. The Canadian lender settled claims arising from a scandal involving Stanford Financial, which collapsed in 2009 and cost ordinary investors $7 billion. This is when 2009, 2012. TD Bank said it had settled the Standard Financial case to avoid the distraction and uncertainty of protracted litigation. $1.2 billion. The bank said it had reached a settlement with the Stanford Financial receiver who was trying to recoup funds for investors to avoid the distraction and uncertainty of protracted litigation. And a statement, TD, as Toronto Dominion Bank is known, said it denied any wrongdoing or liability for having provided banking services to Stanford's offshore bank in Antigua. $1.2 billion. Bank, Canadian bank, Ponzi scheme, right? And check this out. Bank of America accused of misleading small business owners into taking out PPP loans. Can't forget the whole Zelle thing. Remember the Zelle debacle that just happened recently with it, less than 2 months ago? Money would just disappear. They put it on Zelle. A third Bank of America lawsuit filed by 3 small businesses argued the company, Bank of America, misled them into taking out pandemic-era Paycheck Protection Program loans that the government would not forgive. A lot of people don't know about this. A lot of people don't know about Zelle. A lot of people don't know about TD Bank. but they know about Sam Bankman-Fried, don't they? Got to ask yourself why that is. You really got to ask yourself why that is. Let's take a listen to John Deaton here for a second.
Over 2 years, and that is the SEC is coming after all of crypto. We had a hearing earlier today, and it was involved the fact that Grayscale is suing the SEC, and we know that Coinbase has now launched an initiative to try to all address the fact that we are at war, a war that was declared. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't pay attention.
We are at war. Do you remember when we said that? This is a war. Months ago, we said this. We said this is a war. Not that they were just coming after all crypto, but that it was a war for you and I. That's the war. If they can't get us to walk back into their liquidity pool, they can burn everything down, and the only pool left to play in will be their pool. That's the truth right there, my friend.
Because they let the SEC engage and divide and conquer, and that war began on December 22nd.
Let me share that. Remember that phrase he just used? Let me see if I can't find this. I responded to a tweet from John Deaton. I think John Deaton responded to a tweet, and I responded to his. See if I can find that. Right here, it was from Jimmy Valley. Jimmy Valley put this out, right? Remember this tweet? Senator Loomis, says Jimmy Valley, care to comment on your top donor in 2022? How much influence on your proposed bill did multi-coin cap have? What about A16 Zulu, your fourth highest donor? Jimmy says, this is the issue, XRP community. It's multi-coin. There's Andreessen Horowitz, and someone said that Payward Inc. is the official umbrella company, if you will, for the Kraken exchange. I said it's a major issue. I mean, roughly $500,000 total from the digital asset community for a PAC, Political Action Committee. Got Coinbase, Kraken, got Binance, got Ripple, and they can only come up with $500,000 because they just thought, it's not going to matter. However, falling for the divide and conquer trap set by the banking and financial cartel to create crypto maxis is the real problem. It's the real problem. Yeah, and John Deaton's talking about that.
Of 2020. Now, we predicted this. I'm not going to stand up here and say I told you so, but XRP community predicted this war, and it's now against all exchanges. We've seen the Kraken situation. We know that Coinbase has released the fact that they have received subpoenas, investigative subpoenas. I'm getting a call a week from entrepreneurs who want to talk to me about the fact that they're under investigation and they're expecting Wells notices, or they're being asked to sign statute of limitations, tolling agreements, because the SEC is coming after them. And we're talking about projects that range from a couple $100,000 raised to multi-millions. And even we see cases that involve fraud have unnecessary language. A lot of people made a big deal about this that green mining machine case that was filed. It really is just a fraud case, but ask yourself, why does the SEC when it's really a deception and misrepresentation and fraud case, why do they throw in there that's general language that it's also unregistered securities? Why in the Wowie case that it was insider trading and fraud? Why do they then say, oh, these 9 ERC20 tokens are also securities? And so the point I'm getting at is that all token holders are now realizing what XRP holders have been realizing for the last couple years, and it is time to end the tribalism. It's time to come together and let the best technology win once we have a level playing field.
Now here's something I agree, and here's what he says here in the end here. Let's see here. Let's go here.
Buy rounds if that happens, but otherwise I think you need to prepare yourself otherwise. I was hoping Charlie tonight was going to say, I saw your shirt, and I was going to tell him, well, I've been fighting tribalism. I have an XRP shirt, I have ETH underwear on, and I got Bitcoin socks. I won't show you the underwear, but for what it's worth, I know a lot of XRP holders are not wanting. They were chastised and they were cast out, and they're the last that want to allow the others to come in and join this fight. But I'm telling you, we need them, and we've got to end the tribalism. With that, everybody have.
We need them, and we got to end this tribalism. 1000%. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for the divide and conquer. Unfortunately, the Bitcoin people fell for it. The ETH people fell for it. And now they're kind of getting like this, rude awakening, if you will. But it's not too late. Michael O2, what's going on? Knuckle sandwich hand wraps. Hey, Siege. Knuckle sandwich hand wraps. What's good? Paul Bogle is in the building. How are you, bro? Hal T. Moore is here. What's going on, brother? Good evening to you, my friend. Interesting stuff for sure coming from John Deaton. That's the truth of the matter. That is the truth of the matter. What else did I want to share with you guys? Guys, be prepared. Be prepared. The Mount Gox creditors, March 10th will begin to receive payments from that Chapter 11 bankruptcy. March 10th. By the way, 137,000 Bitcoins. At the time of that bankruptcy in 2014, at the time of the petition, the price of Bitcoin was $800. $800. What do you think people are going to do with that Bitcoin beginning March 10th and the subsequent days and weeks thereafter? Be prepared for that. It was $800. So that's more than two. Am I not right on that? Am I right? I think I'm right. $800 to $22,000. Is that 200x? I think that's 200, right? That's 200. I believe that's 200. I believe. What do you think they're going to do with that? 800 times 10 is 8,000. Times 20 is 16,000. Times 20 is 20x. 20x. What do you think they're going to do with that? I think there's going to be some selling going on. I mean, they've been waiting for a long time. And, unfortunately, they missed the 60,000 Bitcoin. Unfortunately, they missed that. But surely 5, 10, 20%, surely there's going to be some profit taking going on there. Surely. So March 10th, look for it. And by the way, the value of that 137,000, more than 137,000, almost 138,000 Bitcoin, $3 billion. $3 billion. There will be some profit taking going on. Mike O2 is like, John, XRP holders don't have underwear we have been wiped out. Right? So prepare for that, guys. Prepare for that. Let me see what I got for you guys. Paul Boger's like, they will sell and buy Constellation and XRP. I hear that, man, friend. Let me see what I got. What else I got for you guys? But be prepared for that. Be prepared for that week or two. Starting March 10th. Be prepared, guys, because there is going to be I believe, some significant profit taking going on there. All right, let me share a little bit here. What else did I want to share? What happened with Algo? What happened with Algo? Was there a kind of a breach of security with the Algorand community? I heard something, but I mean, I heard from someone, but I didn't hear what happened there. If you guys know, let me know. This is what I was sharing with you guys the other day. Coming to the XRP ledger, NFT tickets. NFT tickets comes with unique capabilities such as programmable pricing, a feature which ends scalping completely. While NFT tickets can include tons of exciting features such as unique airdrops, rewards, and more. The NFT ticket marketplace coming to the XRP ledger. So the voting is in for the Flare Improvement Protocol and the STP as well. They both passed 75% and 87% respectively. Andrew put this out here, interesting tweet, founder of X3 Finance. Crypto short sellers have worked with Elizabeth Warren to craft anti-crypto narratives. Worked with her to put these narratives against crypto together. Policy and specific accusatory letters to crypto firms. Market manipulators are on the short side in this cycle. Short names like Silvergate and Coinbase. Some food for thought there. Some food for thought. Scott Chamberlain says something. John Deaton tended to agree with him here. And this is something important to note. After further thought, 4 key takeaways for me. Scott Chamberlain is a former lawyer. He's an entrepreneurial fellow and co-founder of something. What was he co-founder of? Co-founder of the Evernote. Okay, that's why I remember that name, Evernote. You guys remember Evernote? At the further thought, 4 key takeaways for me. It seems more likely there will be a trial because this decision results in conflicting expert testimony that muddies a summary judgment application. Excuse me. So many facts at issue. There is a caveat, though. The caveat, the SEC's expert has its testimony on why people bought XRP excluded. It's unclear what, if any, evidence remains on record to support the SEC's argument that anyone who bought XRP expecting profits solely or substantially from Ripple's efforts. This might be fatal to the SEC. What Jeremy Hogan says that expert's done is Patrick duty. So there's little doubt John Deaton's efforts impacted here. 75,000 people versus one SEC expert whose testimony on XRP holders' motives has been cut. Pick at the darkness until it bleeds daylight, as the lyric goes. If I were a little guy fighting an injustice and John is the attorney, I'd want my corner, old school lawyering of the highest order. Infinite respect. Indeed. John Deaton here says, in reference to this, wait a minute, let me read this. Neither side gets everything it asked for because neither side had impeccable arguments for everything it wanted. What leaves out is how sharp, rigorous, and utterly impartial Judge Torres is. I remember reading that the other day. And John says, I agree with this 100, in fact. I decided to do a live stream that just ended discussing the possibility or maybe likelihood of a jury trial to prepare folks. Scott's analysis is on target, and I believe the expert's preclusion is fatal for the SEC's summary judgment motion. And I don't know if I said this today, or no, I said it in my drive time video, I believe. I just don't see how the SEC is going to be good with making an argument before a jury. I don't know, maybe I just said that now. I don't even remember anymore. I don't think the SEC is going to be good with that. Hey, RC, did you know Doc Show Ripple Labs is the 5th largest investor in Futureverse, a roll-up of 8 Web3 companies building the open metaverse on the Root network, a layer 1 that uses XRP as a gas token and base block rewards. Link to the full article is on our website. Did you know? Did you know? Yeah, I went and got that Zoom Pro today. Fred Rispoli says, this is my summary on the expert judgment today. Big takeaways. I think the question, did Ripple sell XRP like a security, is going to trial, but there is a chance, 10% it does not. Judge Torrance hints at 29, she is strongly considering the blue skies legal argument. She is strongly considering the blue skies legal argument. SEC took heavy losses. Ripple took minor ones. Duty's causation, the Patrick Duty, I think his name was, the expert, supposed expert for the SEC, Duty's causation opinions were struck, and Ripple's experts are allowed to give unrebutted causation testimony on reasonable purchaser expectations. SEC does have a little causation testimony allowed from expert number 3, but Judge Torres even stated how Ripple can attack that. SEC expert number 2 can't opine about the materiality of important disclosures by Ripple. Another blow, like Duty, expert number 4 cannot testify how his personal experience provides him with a sufficient basis for speculating about how others would behave. Expert number 5 also cannot give causation testimony. All in all, one of the major elements SEC must prove is expectation of the XRP purchasers. And he's saying, Fred Rispoli is saying, was almost, all of those extras were almost, but not 100% wiped out. Judge Torres is now giving 50-50 legal questions to Ripple. This is the result of the SEC overplaying his hand and litigating like entitled brats. Example, SEC experts can't opine on XRP purchaser expectations, but Ripple experts can testify exactly to this from federal tax law and virtual currency perspectives. Judge Torres ruled that Ripple will be allowed to provide evidence of all the uses that XRP has. Didn't SEC frequently whine that XRP had no use other than speculative investment? Whoopsie. While I think that this case is going to trial, I do think Judge Torres will rule that SEC has not put forth any substantive evidence that secondary sales of XRP are securities. She can rule on that, and they can still go to trial. Oh, wait a minute. He's saying the other way. He says, I do think Judge Torres will rule that the SEC has not put forth any substantive evidence that secondary sales of XRP are securities. He's saying that he thinks Judge Torres is going to say that the SEC has not made a valid argument about secondary sales. Don't think she'll rule that such sales are never securities, just that these aren't before the court. This type of ruling will put the burden on the SEC to individually attack each secondary sale. Bask in the glory of the SEC's failure. XRP Productions is funny. Says, thanks, Fred. I told you I wanted the summary completed by 8 o'clock this morning, though. As Fred Rispoli laying it down. If he's right about this last point here, if he's right about this, I do think Judge Torres is going to rule that the SEC has not put forth any substantive evidence that secondary sales of XRP are securities. And don't think she'll rule that such sales are never securities, but before the court that they are not, and that they have to prove individually each one. It's like, I mean, it's done. It's toast. It's toast. They're not going to do that. They're not going to try. They didn't even say any sale. Just like John Deaton said in the video, they haven't given an example of a particular sale that would constitute it being a security in the secondaries market. They haven't given one example. They didn't give her anything. They didn't give her anything. Right, legendary, exactly. How the F do they expect to track secondary sales? They didn't give one example. Wait a minute, looking good and doing it. What? Is this breaking news? What's going on, my dude? Appreciate you being here. Breaking, U.S. bankruptcy judge approves the Binance $1.3 billion deal for Voyager. How about that? I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. That's good. That judge was, Judge Mr. Wiles, I believe his name is Michael or David Wiles. He went in on the SEC lawyers. Went in on them. Michael. Breaking news, U.S. bankruptcy judge approves the Binance deal for $1.3 billion for Voyager. Interesting stuff right there. But it's on record. It's on record about how this judge slammed the SEC. And I'm telling you that these federal judges pay attention to their other cases. And they are not, once you had Annalita Torres make that comment, I believe it was her, maybe it was Judge Netber, I can't remember. But when she said that, that the SEC lacks a faithful allegiance to the law, I said, didn't I say this, Keelish? From day one, when we heard that every court, every judge, secondary, appellate court, federal judge, the Supreme Court, it don't matter. They all heard that. That she, once she says that is on record. And now tell me about the judge or court that's going to let the SEC come in there and display that type of madness with their court and not get the slap down. That's exactly what happened. They went in there and got the beat down from the judge. I mean, you heard the language. I shared that language with you guys. They got the beat down. The SEC took a beating. And this is it's gonna go from case to case to case, because there's not gonna just not going to be a judge of court that's gonna deal with the madness. Once one calls them out, it's over. Once one calls them out, it's over. Because there's just this appearance of I don't want to say sloppy, but just this is an appearance of shenanigans that the SEC is willing. Hold on one second. Right. And so, look, legendary is like, these judges definitely have each other on speed dial 100%. Look, I mean, look, Fearless is like 100. Like, they're not going to go in there and make a mockery of their court. And it only took one judge, this federal judge, once one judge makes a statement like that. Remember how the community kept saying how patient these judges were with the SEC and all this shenanigans and all this mess. And we knew one day that hammer was going to come down. And when she said that, that's it. Once she made that statement, lacks of faithful allegiance to the law, you're going to come in here and try to play games in my court? No, it ain't happening. This judge went in, Keyless. He went in on those SEC lawyers who tried to, put this motion to deny the acquisition, making creditors somewhat whole, or at least ending some of the madness. SEC went in there and tried to deny it for their own personal, for Gary Gensler's stupid agenda. And Michael says, Siege on the phone talking to the judge. What's going on, Big Kahuna? Good to see you, bro. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Life is good, right? So I just think that, look, jury's it's just not going to be great. It's not going to be great. But we don't know if hashtag Gary Gensler is like, I don't care how bad it looks. But if Fred Rispoli is right in that the judge is able to rule on this secondary sales, like she feels like that's easy. That's an easy one. I can rule on that. It's easy. They came up with nothing to support their argument about the secondary sales of XRP coming with securities. That's an easy one. I'm just going to chop that off. I'm going to rule on that. We'll go to trial on some other stuff. That's what we want. That's what the XRP holders are good with that. We're good with that. Ripple is good with that too, as a matter of fact, secondary sales. They're good with that. That means they can move forward. They can move in the U.S. capital markets. They can move forward. What's going on, Big John? Right? They can move forward. So that's some good stuff right there. Still on my ZK Sync and Arbitrum deal there. I wanted to share with you guys. Still trying to participate as much as I can there to participate in the qualified, become eligible for airdrop. ZK Sync, don't sleep on it. Yeah, that was Little Miss Crypto Seeds telling me she was home from school. Yeah, so it's interesting stuff, man. Just interesting right now, and we need a ruling as soon as possible. That is for sure. That is for sure. Anyone see that Chris Rock latest Netflix special? I mean, shit, me and Miss Crypto C's, check that out. Is that any good? Anybody seen that? I even forget the name of it. But that's, yeah, it's great to hear that the judge just slammed it, just slammed them, and granted that to the people from Voyager, who've been harmed, you know. Update on withdrawals and in-app remaining balances of Celsius. 50% or 1.737 billion was withdrew by 331 parties. The average withdrawal was 5.24 million, low of 1.3 million, high of 90 million. That must be for something else. What is that about? What's Keith? Is that about Celsius? Yeah, this is about Celsius. Interesting. That's a lot of money. Interesting. I'm trying to find for you guys this latest news about Judge Torres will go down as a legend. I can't find it, but that is great news. I appreciate you sharing that. Definitely appreciate you sharing that with the channel. Do not like Chris Rock at all. Winston Prescott's like, I don't like Chris Rock at all. Michael O2 says, Judge Torres is chilling with Rosie Rios popping bottles. Indeed. Big Kahuna. I'm going to propose to Judge Torres after we win the case if she's not already married. I hear you. I'm just saying. Shoo! Who shared with us about looking good doing it? Thank you for sharing that. I have to find that article. But that is breaking news. U.S. bankruptcy judge approves Binance's Binance US $1.3 billion deal for Voyager. That is big news. What happened in that case? Sorry, Siege. What happened with the judge? Oh, the judge in the Voyager case, we did a few videos that he was just slamming the SEC. We were getting updates from people who were in the attendance of the case by Zoom. And the judge was just hammering the SEC. I mean, just slamming them. Like, what do you think? You expect me to do this just because you think something might happen? I mean, he was going in on the SEC lawyers. And I pretend that that's because of whether it was Judge Netburn or Judge Torres who said that the SEC's lawyers lack a faithful allegiance to the law. And I said from day one, Winston, when we heard that was going to just echo throughout the judicial system, that every judge, every court, every lawyer, all of them going to be like, whoa, And every judge in court is going to be like, we're not going to have that type of shenanigans going on in my court. That's not going to happen. We already got the word. We already got the word. And the word is essentially, you guys are coming in here fronting, costing taxpayers money and wasting the court's time with your nonsense. I mean, the word's been put out. And I just don't see how it's going to stop at all. I really do. Hold on one second, guys. So that's kind of what it is. Alex DeVogs, thanks so much for the super chat, bro. Appreciate you being here tonight. What's going on with you? What's going on with you? So I got an invite to be on a channel Sunday. We'll see how it goes. I did respond and said, hey, I'll hang out. I won't be on there long, but I'm going to hang out Sunday at 8 Central. I'll let you know when I get more details for sure. Appreciate you guys being here. What an interesting time. I'm telling you, this ruling is going to come, I think, soon. And at least we're going to get something that I think the XRP holder is going to be really, really happy with. Yeah, especially if Fred Rispoli is right. And I hope he's right. The Real Big Will's in the building. What's good, fam? Walking the dog, listening in. Oh, man. Appreciate you checking in, Real Big Will. I'm about to get up out of here, though. I got some stuff to do. Winston doesn't like Chris Rock. I think I'm gonna check him out. See what's up. I heard he went he was kind of going in on Meghan and the Prince and Meghan, those people. Something along the lines about what do you know you didn't know they were? What do you mean? What you weren't prepared for that? No, that kind of treatment that they gave her and their children, apparently. Legendary said if the judge had said that about a law enforcement officer, hopefully he would be fired. Hopefully. Oh, Kiva says Chris Schrott's special was A+, so I'm going to check it out. I didn't even know it's on. I haven't seen a notification. You would think as soon as you hit Netflix, it would show up. You would think. I haven't seen anything. But maybe we'll check that out. We'll check that out tonight. We will check that out for sure. Oh, Alex, yeah, hit me up on Twitter, man. Let's DM me and see if we can work out something. I'd love to come hang out. All right, guys, look, I'm going to wrap it up. It's been just about an hour. It's been a really, really cool hang. I appreciate each and every one of you checking in. Pridewell is in the building. Good evening. Did I miss anything, Siege? Yeah, we're about to wrap up, bro. We're about to wrap it up, man. You're going to have to catch the replay. It was a good one, too. Be sure to check it out without question. I appreciate each and one of you guys being here tonight. It's been a really, really cool hang. Word on the street. We're getting some type of ruling here in the next couple of weeks. Is feeling like some type of ruling, and it's looking good. It's looking good. I don't know how much. I don't know if it's going to rule on one thing and go to jury trial on the other things. We're going to get some kind of ruling, which is great. Knuckle sandwich hand wraps. What's going on? Oh, so I appreciate each and all of you being here and checking in today for sure. I'm going to do this because I love doing this. I love sharing this little automation with you guys. I'm going to end this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Talk to you soon, guys. See ya.